everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to this week's episode of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about how I got into watching wrestling. Now, the story starts out back in 1996. At the time, I started watching WCW Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw, and I also watched a lot of the Saturday morning shows. I watched WCW Worldwide. They used to come on TV around 10 a.m. and WCW Pro, which came on Sundays, and WCW Main Event, which came on Sundays at 5 and 5. And I also watched WCW Saturday Night, which came on at 6 and 5. I got into wrestling in 1996. I think it was either January or February I started watching wrestling. And at first, I stumbled upon WCW Monday Nitro back in 1996. And honestly, when I was a kid, I never knew that Hulk Hogan used to wrestle in WWE. Because I was a kid at the time. I was born in 86. My brother watched a lot of wrestling when he was a kid, and I remember being a kid and seeing him watch wrestling, and I was never really into it as a kid. But in 96, when I was like 9 years old, I first started watching it. And I was hooked from the start. Because back then, that was when wrestling was good. That was when wrestling had great storylines, great matches, and great angles. Nowadays, wrestling has just been a bunch of homogenized bullshit. And I'm gonna miss the old days. I miss the Attitude Era. I miss WCW. But the less about WCW in 2000, the better. Because in 2000, as we all know, in 1999, WCW started to suck. And it all started with that damn finger poke of doom. What the hell, WCW? What the hell are you thinking? You had Hulk Hogan. And you had Nash, who was on purpose to Hulk Hogan, so Hulk Hogan can be WCW champion. And then they had the whole NWO black and red, black and white. Why couldn't they just leave it alone? And then they merged together. First of all, back then was great. We had guys like Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, the Hardy Boys, Lita, Trish Stratus. We had greats like Nature for Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan, and Macho Man Randy Savage, Dusty Rhodes, and all the wrestlers that we lost along the way. May they rest in peace. Now, I also want to talk about my favorite thing about wrestling. I really enjoyed the Attitude Era. But also when I was a kid, somebody told me about a little wrestling organization right here in my hometown. That used to be here, called ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. Now, the history of that is ECW used to be Eastern Championship Wrestling, and it was owned by Commissioner Todd Gordon. A year on, Paul Heyman took over as the owner of ECW. I first stumbled upon Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, back in 1997 when I was a kid. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and watching ECW, that shit was crazy. There were no rules. They just beat the shit out of each other every night. And ECW was the reason that WWE wanted to be more edgy, wanted to have some more adult themed storylines. So WWE came up with the Attitude Era. And the Attitude Era was crazy. We had guys getting their male appendages chopped off by Japanese guys on Kai. We also had a lot of crazy shit back in the Attitude Era. We had Mae Young giving birth to a hand. We had Mark Henry being a sex addict. And the best part about the Attitude Era was Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the toughest, baddest men that ever stepped in to a WWE ring. Stone Cold Steve Austin used to wrestle in WCW as Stunning Steve Austin, and he was part of a tag team called the Hollywood Blondes, along with Brian Pillman. In 1995, Eric Bischoff fired Steve Austin via telephone. And then Steve Austin went to ECW, where he did parodies of wrestlers from WCW. His career in ECW was very short. Stone Cold Steve Austin came to WWE in 1996 as the ringmaster. Now, I remember this whole story, though. I remember in June of 96, the birth of Austin 316 began. When Austin 316 said his famous tweet. Now, I also remember going to a couple of wrestling events. I went to Monday Nitro with my brother. I think it was back in 97 or 98, I forget. And me and my brother went down to the Spectrum to see WCW Monday Nitro. It was a great event. There were some great matches. And I always remember the first time I saw Sting descend from the top of the arena. And that was a big moment for me, because I've never seen something like that live. And I also went to a WWE event with my dad and his co-workers. It was intercourse seats, or first unit, whatever it was called back in the day. And we went to see wrestling. And we saw some great matches. We saw guys like Jeffy. We saw a lot of great matches. Had a fun time. And years later, me and my dad started going to more wrestling events. And like I said, I know wrestling has become homogenized bullshit, but you know, a lot of it is actually good. I mean, I like Sasha Banks. I like McIntyre. I like Seth Rollins. I like all the guys that came in from Ring of Honor and Evolve Wrestling. AEW, it's okay, but it's not great. I mean, it's alright. But I'm not gonna praise AEW. So being a kid, it was fun watching wrestling. It was fun watching episodes of Superstars. At 12 in the afternoon. Wrestling was great because it was on almost all the time. You can find it anywhere. You can find it on UPN, channel 4048, which is now a religious channel, which I'm having a problem with. I mean, if you're religious, that's okay with me, but before then, they showed a lot of wrestling on channel 48, and I enjoyed every second of it. And I kind of was a John Cena fan back in the day. But then I started realizing that this guy, he's boring. Why do I like this guy? I go back and I look at my life, and I'm saying, why was I a John Cena fan? You know, I realized that back in the day, I was such a John Cena fan, I couldn't see the big picture. I remember CM Punk's pipe bomb. I remember that like it was yesterday. You know, when I say pipe bomb, I don't really mean an actual pipe bomb. What I mean is a sentence or phrase that's very controversial. It has the whole wrestling world talking. It has every wrestling fan talking. That is what a wrestling pipe bomb is. And CM Punk was the one who invented the wrestling pipe bomb. At least I think. There might have been a few back in the day. Well, I just really enjoy wrestling, and if you're a fan of old school wrestling, then I suggest you check out some stuff on the WWE Network, because they have some great shows on there, and I also want to make a few suggestions to the WWE Network. I see you guys have WCW Saturday night, but you only have episodes from 92 and 93. So I have a suggestion. Why not put episodes from 94, 95, 96, and 97 on there as well? And also bring back WCW Pro and bring back episodes from 95, 96, and 97. I also would like you guys to bring back episodes of WWE Superstars from 94 and 95, and also 96 and 97. I also have other suggestions. I also think that you guys should have, let's see. I don't know what else, I'm never trouble thinking, but those are my suggestions. Wrestling was great back in the day. I really enjoyed guys like Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace. He was one of my favorites back in the ruthless aggression era. Because he had so much charisma, he had so much talent. And it's just a shame that he passed away and we no longer have Eddie Guerrero in our lives. His matches with Rey Mysterio were amazing. Especially his matches he had in WCW with Rey Mysterio. And that's about it, folks. Thank you for listening to my podcast. And I just want to say, I got nothing against today's wrestling. I actually like it. I actually think it's great. AEW is, yeah, it's okay. It's not elite. It's not the greatest wrestling of all time, but it's okay. But there are some stupid storylines I just don't get. I really like NXT. I like what they're doing. There's a lot of talent in that company. There's a lot of talent on the main roster too. And I have to agree that the talent that they have right now, they're great. There's some great talents in the men's division and the women's division as well. NXT, WWE, NXT UK, and beyond. So I just want to thank you all for joining me for my podcast. I know this was a long one, but I just want to thank you, and I hope everybody has a great day, and be safe, everyone, because the holidays are coming up, so please stay healthy, and please have a happy holiday.